Hi, everyone. I just wanted to welcome you to this series that we're doing for high returns for real estate investors in the Chicagoland real estate. I'm Melinda Cabanilla. I'm a broker with Century 21, and I am here with Tim Goebel, who is one of two of the principals with Assembly Squad. So the reason that I'm doing this show is to kind of band together all the CEOs that we know and share stories. Just share what inspires us to start our companies and a way to support other people in our local community. So today we have Tim Goebel, and he is one of the principals of Assembly Squad. So do you want to tell us about Assembly Squad, Tim?
Sure. Thanks, Melinda. We're a general contractor active in the greater Chicago area, ranging from Indianapolis up to Milwaukee and beyond and out into Michigan. But in any event, we've been helping clients decorate and outfit and furnish their places for years. And so naturally, we got to know IKEA very well and really liked their kitchens. And there's a natural outgrowth. We had a crew assembling people's furniture for them. That was the foundation of our business. But the kitchen aspect was very appealing. And so we got into that and really made a name for ourselves, became the top ranked kitchen installer for that kind of product in Chicago, and competing against somebody who is designated by IKEA. So very happy to have had success with that. While working on a lot of these projects, we found that GCs would flounder at a lot of these rental projects, and we said, well, we could do this. And so we became a GC ourselves. And so we've been embracing IKEA all along, but it kind of sets us apart because a lot of homeowners tell them that their GC says, oh no, don't ever do that. And I've had a couple IKEA kitchens myself. I love them. And so, I don't have anything to apologize for in that regard.
Yeah, I think that is being a little bit humble because they're known for being the #1 installer in Illinois for IKEA. And if you go to IKEA and you speak to the people in the design department, their names come up on a pretty regular basis on who to call to have your kitchen installed. So, yeah.
Thanks.
And I've worked with you guys on a broker side. So my last buyer, I brought these guys in. We closed on the deal, and 2 days later, we had Assembly Squad in. They redid not only the kitchen and bath, they did the entire house. And the timeline for that project was insane. I think you guys finished it in 5 weeks. That was everything. The floors, the walls, the lighting, new kitchen. That's renovation, taking out the old kitchen, putting in a new kitchen. I mean, everything. So that was, I think, working with you guys is, from a designer's perspective and from a broker's perspective, is refreshing because you guys are quick. You're great with the clients. Everyone was super happy. And so thank you.
Well, thanks for pointing that out. That was a 3-story house, no less.
Yeah, so it was. Yeah.
Do it. But, one of the things that brings up is, how both Victor and I have brought an owner's mentality to this. Whenever we deal with a client, why are you doing this? Does this make sense for the value of the house? You could spend too much, you could spend too little on renovations. And the point is to always to invest the right amount for the property itself, because
right.
You never have to fold up your tent and go somewhere else. So right. Make good decisions in the here and now, and you'll be happy with them ongoing. And, so that by taking that tack consistently, we've had the good fortune to meet a few people who have bought for their own account and then renovated and sold it successfully, profitably. This is not, a flipper who's looking to do this over and over again, but, people who, understand that, you have to have a certain amount of investment in order to make these good returns, these larger returns.
And I think that's a really good point from a broker's perspective. And I have worked with Assembly Squad as a designer on a couple of projects. And that is definitely one thing that we did discuss, is that, people are looking to possibly sell their houses in a a time frame. And so looking at the comps in the area, if they're in a townhome. I think we had one client that was in Elk Grove. They were looking at their townhome to sell in the next year. And when I was there, we looked at, other condos in the area and what they did to their kitchens and what made sense, right? Like, when they're going to sell it, are they going to sell it for more, or is it going to be the same as everyone else? And so that is the basis of how much money you're going to put into it, based on if you take a soffit out versus not taking a soffit out, are you going to get more money? So, so I think that is a really good point, Tim, that to look at it from a contractor's perspective, which is unique that you guys do. So,
Thanks.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, in terms of how things are going lately, one of the things that you probably have heard of is this whole Paycheck Protection Act, right?
Yeah.
And we put together our own form of this. What we're offering to clients now is pay 50% of the labor cost up front. Okay. But save the rest of it for 120 days or up to 120 days to pay the rest. And, we've talked with this up and down, the organization in terms of, making sure that everybody is comfortable with this idea of kind of putting off, and gotten everybody's buy-in to it. So we're very pleased to be able to do that.
That's a really good deal, I think, for people right now that can't, that wanted to do a kitchen, with you guys to begin, and then this happened. So it still gives them the opportunity to do that. And from my understanding, you don't have any interest added on in that 120 days and no fees. Is that correct?
Yes, as it stands now. And we are looking at other ways to fund, finance, and that kind of thing for, other more complex transactions or what have you. But, for right now, we unilaterally made this a choice. Our various subs that we're working with.
Yeah.
And, I'm thrilled to be able to do that. It's something that Victor and I both, feel very strongly about, that, we've got to keep people going here.
Yeah. I feel like that's a really good way to give back to the community, and shows a lot about who you guys are. So it's nice.
Yeah. Because we're not just feeding ourselves, we're feeding a bunch of different families here. And it's important.
Right. Right.
So, in any event, coming back to the flipper versus investor, issue, at this point, we're looking for co-investment opportunities currently with prior clients, and we are very much interested in meeting with people who are of like mind and looking to do, that, one-off or in scale, but also we're looking at commercial opportunities and, multifamily and
So you do commercial as well?
Yes, we have. We are, we've been doing that from the very beginning, outfitting offices and so forth. But, beyond that now, there are definitely other ways, other avenues to.
Wonderful. That's great. And what is the process when you work with a client? How do you start versus to starting the project? What do you require for that?
Well, we recommend an in-person meeting because there's no substitute for seeing the space. But in the climate, we have to get a little bit creative about how we go about that. But I, am willing, particularly as the next 2 weeks goes on, we're going to start seeing more and more call for being able to do that.
So I do understand that you guys are doing virtual consultations. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have. And, it is, it's a learning process, and, we're making do with it and all of that. Ultimately, we've got to get people in the space to see it. So the best thing is, have a good sense of the direction you want to go in, and, have the virtual meeting on site, and we can kick around design ideas and, workability, feasibility ideas, and perhaps ask questions like, can you point the camera underneath the sink or something like that?
Right.
talk about the various trade-offs involved.
Okay.
And then once we have agreement on the overall scope and direction of the project, then we can get the subs in to take a specific look at things. And these are people who don't go out and meet clients every day and, are in dozens of people's homes in a day, but rather tend to work on a job for a week or at least a couple, 3 days anyway. So they're not in and out a lot of different places. And so, in the spirit of what we're trying to do here with flattening the curve and everything, I think that, them continuing to go out and do their thing, works well for, overall society.
What's the typical time frame for redoing a kitchen, like building the IKEA kitchen and like renovating it? How long does that normally take?
Well, the cabinets themselves take a little longer than most cabinets. Instead of it being a day, it's a few days to a week. But the overall project, you blow up a kitchen and put it back together again, you've got to figure it's going to be a few weeks, but it depends on the scope of work. We've done kitchens where we're in and out of there in 3 days because all they're doing is repair and replace.
Yeah, I have to say, as a designer, I was very impressed by the speed in which you guys, from start to finish of that project, knowing that my clients were waiting at their old house and waiting to move in, that you were able to do that entire 3-story townhome in 5 weeks, which I think is super impressive. And on other kitchen projects that I've worked on, just the kitchen alone takes 2 months. So I think that that's, something to be said for Assembly Squad. And honestly, the IKEA kitchens look fabulous when they're done. So I'm impressed.
Well,
do you have anything else?
Well, I would say that, your point about the timing goes back to my first kitchen renovation when the contractor told me, oh, it's going to be 8 weeks.
Right.
Like, this is a 15 by 15 space. How would
right.
and there's got to be a better way, kind of thing. Yeah. So look around, not find it. And so we've got to build it. We got to figure it out, and we're doing it. Yeah. And, it's, it takes intention and planning and, a little bit of sweat and tears once in a while, but, got to make it happen.
Yeah.
And, so love it because, we get to work with a lot of different great people and, help them, realize their dreams, if you will,
Right. You work with a lot of homeowners, or are you working with designers? Are you working with brokers? Like, who are your typical clients?
Typically it's a good half or more homeowners directly. And then, variety of other sources, as you say, brokers and designers and referrals, of course. Those are, a key element of it. And
how long have you guys been in business?
Well, Assembly Squad itself is just a couple of years old. Richter and I have been working together for 5 years now. So, we've taken the business from different iterations to the current organization as an LLC. And, stay tuned. There's more to come.
That's exciting. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing about your company. How can everyone get a hold of you? What social media platforms are you on?
Well, online, we're at assemblyserviceil.com.
Okay.
And we're putting together, we have a Facebook page, but we're revamping it. And so there again, stay tuned on. But, looking up Assembly Squad will bring you to our Facebook page as it currently is.
Okay.
And then, in terms of getting in touch with us, 312-544-9150.
Okay, perfect.
Or Assembly Squad Customer Service @gmail.com.
So everyone, I will put their information, their website, all their social media platforms underneath this video when I post it onto the group. And thank you so much, Tim, for coming on the show. You can join me for every night at 5 p.m. I'm going to be with different CEOs every night. So join us tomorrow. But thank you so much, Tim, for coming on the show. I'm very happy that you were able to join us.
Well,
So,
thanks so much for the opportunity, Melinda.
of course. Have a great night, and I will talk to you soon.
Alrighty.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.